making in the next few minutes. It's the base for a lamp, which will have a lead weight in the bottom when it's put together. That will be glued in with a glue gun, but that's basically the shape of the base I want to make. That's a blank I'm starting with, roughly cut and drilled to size. Using a Nova chuck. Still getting used to the Nova chucks as to which way round to tighten and loosen them. There we go. Now, as the wood is slightly warped, there will be a variation. You can see the difference in the gap there. Just there. So even putting it hard up against the face of the chuck, it won't necessarily be spinning accurately. That's fine. Now it's a pull cut from the centre, skimming gradually so we don't waste too much of the thickness of the wood. Gradually pull to the outside. This will, in theory, dish the centre slightly, which is fine, because with any circular base, if it is slightly dished, it's going to be more stable than if it's slightly the wrong way. Just putting in the diameter that I want them. Slightly large. There we go. The standard bevel rubbing. Just run slowly down the side, come back and cut it so that it's completely square. And that should be our finishing cut on the side. Right, that's the back turned. Same again, a pull cut across the face of the wood. It's ideal in this case, this is the top of it. So it's going to be this way around, this way around. It's no problem if this goes in slightly, is angled inward slightly, because it's going to have something like this going in there, and we'll then get a good sharp tight fit on the edge. That's sloping slightly in. I'm going to reverse it again to cut the rebate, the recess for the lead weight. The reason I didn't do it first time is because it's a very shallow chuck, and if I cut the rebate, then the chuck will be gripping on nothing. You see, the chuck won't be able to grip on much of the inside of that hole. Right, now mark up the main parts of the design. Those are the only two marks we need on the face. and we need a mark to give us the depth on the side. This pair of dividers is always used in this situation so that I can press the long side onto the back of the wood and the short side of the divider will actually mark the wood. It's just a matter of convenience. To start with, I'm going to cut the bead using just a standard bead cutter, which is I've got it to the size I want it. We'll trim that. So that we don't actually have to use the gouge in too close to that bead and may accidentally damage it. We now use the gouge to make the shape, to make that shape there, at OG. Cut out the little dip in the middle. Right, we'll just tidy up round there. And use a curved scraper just to smooth over there. Cut you may notice that the scraper is just the right size for this dip, but it's got to be sharp, otherwise you'll get tear, and you actually do the scraping, the cut, as you go in on both sides. So you go in, cut, go in and cut. It's a very light cut, otherwise there'd be a tendency for it to bounce and tear. And that's it. We're cutting that. Now sanding with 100 grit. $120. And just sanding into the corners of the bead. $240. That's as far as I need to go. These are going to be ebonized. I'm making, I think it's 56 of these for a hotel in Bristol. 56 of these and 20 others. Right, that's the face of the base complete. Now we'll just cut the rebate for the lead weight. That's the diameter of the lead weight, and we'll just pop that. That'll do. It's not critical, this, it's to 100%, because of the it's going to be glued in with a glue gun, with a hot melt glue gun, so there'll need a little bit of gap. What I'm doing at the moment, this scraper is cut to the right depth. That shoulder is the depth I need for the lead weight. There. Need it slightly further in so that it doesn't come forward of the base. So what I'm doing at the moment is marking the depth inside the hole. I have actually used the corner of that just to mark inside there, give me the depth, so that now I'm cutting with the gouge, I know how far to take it in. So we're up to the line. We now square it all off. Using the gouge, the scraper. Just a quick get rid of any strands of wood. And there we have the completed base. So, that's it. I'll do another one. We're not going to get it 100%. But get it as close as possible, then we don't lose too much of the thickness of the wood. And it does need to be fairly accurate, otherwise the hole won't be in line with the base. Bottom of the base, and if that isn't correct, then the lamp will lean slightly. Needn't worry about too much dishing in there because that's being cut out for the lead weight anyway. It's the outside half of the base that you need to get fairly accurate, and you can always check it. You can see that it's dished there quite a lot, but it's not too bad further out. We don't want to dish it too much. Just rest the divider against the wood, making sure that you don't get too close this side, because you'll flick over and it'll catch your fingers too if you're unlucky. So get close but not too close. Mark the wood slightly and see whether that is catching the tip of the other divider, of the other leg of the divider, and then you know you've got it more or less right. Again, the gouge, take off. Good sharp tools, that's all you need. You can hear when it smacks against the surface that it's just right. Full cut with the gouge across, using it basically as a skew scraper. not recommended in traditional circles of wood turners, because in the old turning days, when using carbon steel tools, they blunted very quickly, and that's a very quick way of blunting a tool. That's why I normally insist on bevel rubbing and not using a gouge like that. But with high-speed steel tools, you can use them as a scraping edge without too much detriment to the tool. But if you were to do that with a carbon steel tool, you'd be sharpening it every time you touch the wood. I still have some carbon steel tools which I use. All my original turning was done with carbon steel. That's a carbon steel gouge. Good roughing out gouge. Wonderful. Cut off that excess there. Bring that down to the height you want. And then cut the curve. The curve is cut with the gentle sway of the body. The tool pulled right in close to the body, and all you do is just gently move your body forward, and you then drive the arc with the tool. You don't want your arms flapping around in the breeze. Having said that, that's what I'm doing right now. Let's just get that side in there. Tidy that up with the beading tool. Just put to another purpose. And the round gouge with the round scraper, just to tidy up, get rid of any ridges or anything, because it's not a natural place where you can get a good slope in, cut with the gouge. And now in the centre. You couldn't really cut that with a gouge very easily. Not as quickly as this anyway. Remember, cut downhill gently with the scraper, just the same as with the gouge. Gently cutting in, just thin wisps, all you should be cutting. And you'll have no torn edges. Put them under grip. Press on. Don't roll over the corners. Go into the corner there. Try and keep the corners nice and sharp. See, I use these foam back pads because they mould the shape of the contours of whatever I'm turning. They're really meant to go on for power sanding, which is what I use them for a lot, but I do use them a lot for this type of work. And then with a sort of conventional sort of 180, nice sharp edge on there to tuck in. Tuck into the side of the bead, down in that little dwell there, and across the top. 240. And before I turn it over, we'll just put that little bevel in. I always forget it. There we are. It's the finished face of the belt, the lamp base. Now to finish the bottom. Press and just, you see, there we are, that's the side Dam's robot. Mark the depth by just pressing that inside, the corner of that inside there. The gouge, cut. Just up to that, a little bit more. That's it. And we'll tidy it up. Bring the cut right up to the divider mark. And there we have it. That's that one. And the base is there. Okay. And another one bites the dust. As I say, I've got 50 odd of these to do, so I'm going to switch off now and get on with them. Bye.